Hello. I've got 5 days off. The good news is I've got five days off from work, so I can make a few videos that I've been wanting to make. And one is this follow-up on my video, Christians and Suicide topic, and spurred by the passing of somebody very close to me, very, very close to me in my life. The bad news is I have 5 days off because I tested positive for COVID today. And I'm running a little fever. I feel kind of poopy. So, at any rate, I wanted to make this video. I want to thank each and every one of you that replied to me on that last long emotional video. Each of you had your own unique take on things and your own point, and I really pretty much agree with everything you all said, and it really did lift me up and help me out of the deep blue funk that I was in. I mean, I still struggle with this every day. I still pray for her every day. But it wound up doing some good in hindsight. Her death actually did some of God's work. Her death, sudden death, that happened not too long ago, 3 weeks ago, if that. I think it was 3 weeks. I still struggle with this, but it has caused me to take my spiritual journey, quest, whatever you want to call it, to a whole different level about God's forgiveness and us, our souls, and what type of God do we have, and the authority of God. I don't question His authority at all. And I can tell that it caused some of you, I think, to all do likewise. I think some of you all did some soul searching on the topic. And you came up with some truths, as far as I'm concerned. And that's a good thing. So, her death did serve God's purpose in that regard. And it's like me telling my ghost stories that I've had my whole life. I always said that my mom said it was the devil's work trying to disrupt my life, and I didn't totally disagree with her because these hauntings were disruptive. But I always said I would turn it around to God's victory, and I did. I told those stories on this channel. And always, God comes out on top on these, always. And the same with Jen's death. God comes out on top, and He will. And He came out on top because it's caused myself to go leaps and bounds beyond where I was in my comfortable place in my spiritual walk. And I think some of you as well, caused you to really examine things, So I want to thank each of you. Your comments and insights helped me through, lifted me out of the deep blue funk I was mired in, which is understandable. This person meant the world to me. And it really, really, really hit me hard. What I plan to do, I got to move on with life. That's true. I can't do anything about it. But that does not mean I'm going to stop praying for her. Doesn't mean I'm going to be obsessed with it. I've got to get on with my own life. But I will pray for her. And actually, I'm going to pray the rosary. I'm going to go to her house where she died. Her and her mother both died. And if anybody watches this and wants me to take it down, let me know. I will. I don't think anybody would mind. I don't think it's going to be an issue. But I'm going to go there. There's a for sale sign out. The place is cleared out already. The family's moved out of state. The surviving family. They weren't very big. Half the family died within a week. Both of the women. I'm not going to go in there and do anything weird as far as I'm concerned. I'm just going to stand outside of the house and have some words, from my heart to her, from my heart to God. And I'm going to pray the rosary. I'm going to pray the rosary for her and her mother. And I'm going to pray something that I've got to learn how to do it, and that is the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. The Chaplet of Divine Mercy. And when I looked into this topic, how do you pray for somebody, the soul that you're concerned about, I got this, they said the Chaplet of Divine Mercy is a very powerful prayer for these situations. And you know what? Is it a coincidence? But here's a picture of my Google homepage, on my computer. Now you notice up top, I have the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, the link. And that has been on my Google homepage for about, 8, maybe 10 years. Seriously. And I used to watch it a few times, like 10 years ago when I found it. And then I haven't watched it since. And I always meant to take it down, but I just never did, to clean up my page. And lo and behold, do you think it's a coincidence? I don't think so. Because I had that Chaplet of Divine Mercy link. And you click on it, it goes to YouTube, and picture off. It goes to YouTube, and there's like a bunch of people, a video of a bunch of people in a Catholic church praying this Chaplet of Divine Mercy. And I never understood it, but I used to like it when I was really getting into the Catholic faith again. I've gotten in and out of it, and never totally out of it. But I never really understood what it was for. It always seemed to me like they were praying for mercy on a deceased person's soul. But I didn't understand it, really. And now I do. And it really is recommended for the situation that I'm concerned with. So I'm going to go to her house, stand outside. It's in the countryside. Nobody lives there. For sale sign. Really sad. Life moves on. I'm going to do some prayers. I'm going to pray the rosary. And I'm going to pray the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. And I may do this more than once. And, you may ask, why are you doing this? Somebody asked me why I'm doing this. Somebody I know. Doesn't live around here. And I said, I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Because I don't think anybody else is. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure nobody else is. Her family weren't bad people, but they weren't what I would call religious people, spiritual people. Her mother was, and she was. They believed in God and Jesus, but like me, they like ghost stories and stuff, maybe a little too much. I always told them it's not healthy to look after these things. But I don't think anybody else is praying for them, so I am going to. And I pray to God to please understand my motives and to show me how to pray for these situations. And I think He led me to it with what I talked about, the Chaplet of Divine Mercy and the Rosary. And I'm not a Catholic. I'm not Catholic. I was baptized Methodist. So I don't know if that makes it, I think God will listen to me. I hope He will. If He doesn't, He doesn't. I'm going to do this. And I would do this for just about anybody that I know, that I love, that suddenly passes on, or even if they pass on and it was a long time coming, like her mother's tragic death from cancer. And Jen's sudden death, very sudden. It didn't help. I've had like 3 people that knew her come up to me and tell me, they said, Tim, she loved you very, very much. Still, there's no doubt about it, she loved you very much. They said, but she was just so hard-headed, and she was. She was very hard-headed. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I pray to God, save her. If she's in a dark place, pull her out. Save her. And I have different prayers. I'm not going to go over them all. Come really personal. I don't know how to pray for these things other than what I told you, but I talk to God quite often about it. And I talked to God after my mom passed, too, you better believe it. And my father passed. So, I don't think it's wrong to do this. A lot of Protestants would disagree with me. They would say, no, when somebody's dead, they're dead. Done is done. They're either saved or they're not. I understand that. But I also understand, I believe God loves me. I believe Jesus loves me. And it doesn't hurt for me to ask Jesus, please go. If she's in a dark place, and I don't get the feeling that she is, but she might be. She's in a dark place mentally. I know that for a fact, before this tragedy. To go help get her out of it. And I'm not obsessed with this. I was actually, for the first week or so, I was desperate. It's like my dear friend fell overboard and was lost at sea, and the ship kept going on without her, and I desperately wanted to find her and throw her life raft, the name Jesus Christ, on it. But she knew this. She knew this. So I trust in God's judgment. I trust in God's mercy. I trust in God, period. All souls belong to Him. Oh. I just don't think there's any harm in asking God as a personal favor from me to you, Lord. I even said, if there's anything you want me to do, I'm trying to make a deal, but then a voice of reason said to me inside, no, Tim, the deal's already been done. You don't qualify to make a deal for her soul. That was done through Jesus Christ. I believe she accepted Christ, her and her mother, at some points in her life. I do. I have good reason to believe it. So, was there anything else? Yeah, if you don't hear from me in a while, the COVID got me. I don't know. God, everybody I've known's had COVID. I didn't think. I was really shocked today when they said you tested positive for COVID. I thought I was immune to it. Nope. Oh, anything else? I got a headache. I'm really tired. But I'm also lonely. Pray for my dog's skin and ears, please. I guess it would be St. Francis, patron saint of animals, to heal my dog's skin and ears. He's got terrible allergies. Yeah, he just came up to me. He knows I'm talking about him. His skin is just, there's flaky and dandruff, and his ears are always bothering him. And the vet said that's the way it is with basset hounds. She said they're real cute when they're puppies, but when they get old, you're going to be struggling with problems with them. So I'm trying everything, to include soliciting your prayers for my dog's skin and ears. Thank you. What else? I'm going to France. I bought my tickets. I'm flying to Paris, hopefully. The plan is I'm flying to Paris in the end of April. I'll be there for 10 days. I'm not staying in Paris. I'm getting on a train and I'm going out to Brittany. I'm going to the northern coast of Brittany. I picked these places out. St. Malo on the seacoast, and Dinan, which D-I-N-A-N, Dinan, and Mont Saint-Christ, no, how do my French friends say it? Not Mont Saint-Michel, it's Mont Saint-Michel, and possibly on to Normandy. I like the country, I don't want to be in any big cities. But I plan to do I'm going to take a lot of pictures. I need some new social medias. It's just me and these candles in the dark, or me walking my dog. What the heck? So you're going to get me in a different environment, drastically different. I might even do some beer cider reviews, food reviews, go out to restaurants. I plan on it. I was very wise with my job. When I started working, I took out a 20% deduction for a 401k. just specifically for this trip. So I'm ready for it. The dollar and the euro, the dollar's not doing too great against the euro, but I think I can handle it. What else? My plans. See how I feel tomorrow. If I feel worse, I'm going to take the medicine that they gave me for this. It's supposed to be pretty good, but I'm going to give my body a chance to fight it first. They say you need to take the medicine within the first 5 days of symptoms, and symptoms started last night. I really felt poopy at work, but I kept working. And I mean, there were people in their 20s that were exhausted. People 20, 21 years old, exhausted. I was exhausted, but I kept going. Yeah, I'm like that. I hit a wall mentally. I said, I'm going to walk out of this place. You know, it's a warehouse. Let me tell you something about warehouse work. I don't know if any of you have ever worked in a large warehouse. We have like 100 trucks come in at night full of groceries and dry goods and whatever for all the Aldis all across New York State. And you got a lot of truck drivers, you get a lot of inner city people, you get a lot of rednecks, you get a lot of oddballs like me. It's quite a mix. All the races, everything. And some of them can be pretty abrasive and rude. I mean, I've had two different people I work with that I get along with very well complain to me and say, this is a really good job. It's just some of the people are really, I don't know why it is. Tough guy, tough girl, you know, I just try to use it for exercise to learn how to love them through Christ's eyes. And it seems to work. I mean, really, some of my reactions to some of their abrasive, rude stuff, you know, some of my reactions really seem to take them off guard. I don't give it back to them. I have friends there who told me, just give it back to them. Like bullies, you know. I'm too old for that. I'm not going to sink down to that level. And where does it go from there, you know? Other ways to handle things. But that job blows. Sorry. It's rough. We're supposed to be out at 5 or 6 in the morning. And we all have to work at a breakneck pace, driving these tugs and forklifts around like crazy, about 50 of us. It must look nutty from if we're looking above. And, you know, we get everything done, then all of a sudden more trucks show up. And then the people that unload the trucks dump and wipe everything out. Next thing you know, we're there, it's 8:30 and we're still there working. It's tough, but the pay is very good. I've seen 3 people quit on day one. 3 people, adults, that I thought were going to be good workers. And they just complained, they didn't like it, they said they weren't coming back, and they didn't. And I said, oh, it's rough, but the pay's good. And one guy said, I could see why they pay so much, because nobody would put up for this, and I never saw him again. And it's interesting, I'll tell you that. When we all work together as a team, which is rarely, usually when the night starts out, everybody's doing their own thing, but when we get towards the end of the morning, everybody wants to get out. All of a sudden, everybody works beautifully as a team. It's pretty funny, honestly. But, oh my God. I like working, but I'm sorry, I'm going to France. I've been planning this trip for a long time. I wanted to do this with Jen. When we were together, she really liked the idea, you know, we're going to go to France. She liked the pictures when we were bored, cruising the internet, looking at the pictures, and we fantasized about it. We never had the money. So it's sad. Life. All right, I think I've blabbed on way too much, so that's what's going on. Again, thank each one of you. Hats off to each one of you for your insight. Every one of you comments on that Christians in suicide hour and 20-minute video. It did everything you said, every one of you, without exception, did help lift me up out of that. Thank you. And it taught me some things too. I gained insight that I hadn't thought of. Really, some of the things you all said, it's like, wow, it didn't occur to me. It made perfect sense too. So thank you. I'm going to keep praying for her, and but I'm going to get on with my life too. But I'm going to pray, like I said, I'm going to go. I don't know if she may be stuck in that house where she died suddenly. It's also kind of symbolic to me, because I feel like I need to do this. So I'm going to pray the Rosary. I'm going to pray the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. And I'm just going to have a heart-to-heart with God and Jesus, and if she can hear me, Jen, and then get in my car and drive off. And leave it all in God's hands. It's a good place to leave it. God's bigger than these tragedies like this. Seem like a giant, towering mountain about to fall on your head. God is bigger. And I think we all learned something through Jen's passing. So, all right, take care. Wish me luck on the COVID. All right, take care.